Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
I think teachers are definitely spending more of their own money than they should. As a first-year teacher, I probably spent more than others because I had literally nothing besides just like some small random things that I've accumulated and decided to save. But, you know, like, and when I'm talking supplies, like, I'm not just talking like markers and notebooks and pens and pencils. I'm also talking like decorations and stuff like that, that kind of stuff. So I had very, very little, so I probably spent more than the teacher next door to me who has been teaching for 8 years.
Okay. About you, Darren? Welcome to Future Educators Talk with Damien and Darren. I am your co-host, Damien Anderson.
And I'm Darren Frett.
Today, we have a very special guest that will be joining us for this episode.
Yes, that is right. She's a 7th grade social studies teacher at Wendell Middle School in Wendell, North.
Everyone, please welcome to our podcast, Miss Allie Roth.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We are so glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here. Love a good podcast.
We are going to be talking about lots of interesting things today, so let's get into it. First up, kindness in the classroom. So I have a few questions to ask. My first question is, how do you teach kindness in your classroom?
I always tell my students to be kind to one another. It costs nothing to be kind. The more good that you put into the world, the better it will be. In my class, we have this thing called a social contract that states what they expect from me, what I expect from myself, what I expect from them, what they expect from each other, and things that we both have to do. And be kind is always on the list in every single category. I think teaching kindness is like you have to do it. You have to show them how to be kind in order for them to understand how to do it. It's like the golden rule in my mind.
Okay, I really like that. As you said, it costs nothing to be. And I love it when I watch Ellen. At the end of every show, when she says to be kind to one another. I absolutely love that. Trying to make this world a better place. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, that's also the golden rule as well that I go by as well. You know, treat others how you want to be treated. So it goes a long ways in life.
Yeah, and again, like I say that just like Ellen says that, and then also we have like when I launch them out of class, I say, love you, mean it. Like, it's just one of those things that we always say in our class, and it just becomes just part of the classroom routine. Like, they notice when I say don't be kind to, or they notice when I don't say be kind to one another, or when I don't say love you, mean it.
My second question is, why do you think kindness is important in the classroom?
I think it goes back to my first answer. The more kindness you put into the world, the better it will be. I have this poster in my room that says, go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. We want to send students into the world ready to, like, 21st century skills, ready to do all the amazing things that we know they're capable of doing. But that always starts with kindness. In school, especially middle school for me, where there's so much drama constantly happening, It's so important for kids to know how to be kind to one another and like notice the differences and accept the differences that they have with each other. And again, like the way that you teach kindness is by showing them. So that also goes to the teachers being kind to one another, showing them like what a healthy working relationship looks like is useful for them for when they go out into the field and start working in whatever jobs they're working in, or when they're working in groups for projects or whatever that may be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I truly believe that, you know, teachers should take more action when a student is being bullied. We will talk more about bullying in next week's episode, because I don't like it where a teacher doesn't do anything about it. So, and that really fueled my tunes, because it's again, we will talk more about it in next week's episode. But definitely, you, like you said, have a good relationship with your coworkers, because you never know when you need help, or you never know when your coworker needs help. So it's important to have that good relationship with your coworkers, because you never know.
Exactly. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Darren. They need to do more about this. They just absolutely need to do more about this. Absolutely. Does anybody want to add anything else to this particular topic?
The last thing I'd say when it comes to bullying is that it's really important to handle the situation as soon as possible. Obviously, it's really hard to stop class in the middle of class and be like, nope, okay, we're going to talk about this. But just stopping and be like, okay, that comment you just made, not okay. We're going to talk about it later is so important, because it shows the students that, no, you're not getting away with whatever I just heard you say. And two, don't think that you're going to use this to stop doing your work. And it also shows the student that was being bullied, like, no, I care about this. I'm going to address it later. And you have to hold up to that, because if you don't hold up that end of the bargain, they're going to realize that they can like walk all over you and say whatever they want and not get any repercussions from it, which obviously isn't what we want them to walk away with.
Exactly.
And again, I could go really in depth with like how we can use restorative circles to help with this and all those kinds of things, but I will not. So I'll just digress on that part.
What about you, Darren?
Yeah, like I said previously, I can go on and on about this as well, but I'm gonna save it for when we talk more about this in next week's episode, because I'm baffled. I'm really baffled.
All right. Yeah. All right. All righty then. If you want to keep up with what's currently happening on our podcast, join the conversation on Twitter by using hashtag Future Educators Talk to answer the question of the day, which is coming up right now. And that is, how much money does the average teacher spends each year on classroom supplies? Make sure you tune in every Monday to see new ones, because we absolutely love hearing your feedback on the topics that we discuss on our podcast. Well, let's move on right into our next topic, which is teachers using their money to buy school supplies. So what do you guys think about this? I totally 100% agree with you, Darren. Teachers deserve better. They really do. I want to know the answer to that question that you just asked, Darren. May you elaborate for us, Miss Ross, on that question?
Sure. I've spent a good amount of my own money on my classroom this year. Not going to say how much, because I don't really know exactly how much, nor do I really want to know, but it was probably over like $500. And this is, again, like, next year, will I spend this much money? Absolutely not. Because I'm going to have a lot more things that I already have right now. to help me out with this. But that being said, it is a lot, and there are stores who give teachers discounts, obviously. I wish Target did their discount a lot longer than just like 1 week, because that 1 week when they had that discount, I was still in Florida and hadn't moved back to North Carolina yet. I was like, I can't go buy anything because 1, I don't have my teacher ID yet, and 2, I have no room to put any of the stuff that I would have bought. So, but it's just, again, Amazon wishlist, hashtag clear the list, amazing thing. So many people bought me things from my wish list. My sister bought me stuff. Friends from way back when in elementary school bought me a lot of things. So that's been a great thing. And again, there's things like donors choose as well, but you also have to like be worried. There's like, I feel like some school districts have like some weird laws that you can't use those things, but I don't really know about that. But again, it's hard, especially because I didn't have a job over the summer because I graduated and was like moving and doing a bunch of things. So I was just using my graduation money for this stuff. So again, I think you should, to get a different perspective, I'd talk to like a veteran teacher about this who has like stuff that they've had for their own classroom for a while compared to me. At least on this topic, I feel like someone else might be a little bit better equipped to answer it.
Well, that's very nice that you had good people sending you things. That's very nice. And for me, I hope I don't spend over $500 over school items my very first year, which I probably will. But hey, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, probably too. Hope as well, because that's kind of like the budget right there. $500. That's over $500. No. Yeah, it's great. Again, like you said, teachers like students helping other students, kind of like the same thing here. Teachers helping other teachers. So
Yep. I love it when teachers are helping each other out. Absolutely love it. Alrighty then, moving right into the last topic of our podcast, which is empathy for the students. So, what do you guys think about this topic?
I think empathy is definitely something everyone in the world needs. Again, it goes back to the first question, along with building kindness also builds empathy for each other. The more students know and understand each other, the more empathetic they will be of each other's situations, of what might be going on in their lives. So it's just really important to build those relationships with your kids, like you as the teacher, but also like the students as the students as well.
Right. Yes. What about you, Darren? What do you think of this?
Yeah, plus we have to understand what that student is going through. So for instance, I've been through a lot. Been in foster care, lost a father, not knowing a lot about my family, etc., which relates to the one episode where we talk about where teachers sitting with their students during lunch, where I talked about how teachers can be like, ask them if they have a baseball game coming, if they want to come and support, to see what's going on, because
I love going to my students' games. It's the best thing, because like last weekend I went to one of their games, and they're like you. Apparently I was standing on the wrong side of the field. I was like, I didn't know, but I was there and I saw you, and you were the one that was yelling everyone to take a knee because that one person got hurt. They're like, that was me. I was like, well, it sounded like you. It might not have been you, but I think it was. So we'll just say it was you.
Exactly, Darren. Exactly. I'm with I'm with you because I have been through a lot myself as well. Losing a father, starting college, and then transferring to a different one. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, etc. Any thoughts, Darren, on this? So I completely understand, Darren, with you on that.
Gives teachers a discount for school supplies. So my question is, why are teachers using their own money for school supplies? That's my, as Tamara Hall said, everybody has a story. So let's talk about it. I watched her show last week when she said that, and because everybody has a different story,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, but that person's story can be related to somebody else's story.
Mm-hmm.
For example, me and Damien's story are related because we both lost a father. So we know what it's like. We both understand what we're going through. So I think it's nice to, have that connection, that bond of each other's story so that we can help each other um, going through.
Right. Right. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I absolutely love that. And I love her for saying those kinds of words. Yes. As you said, everybody has a story, and we should use it in whatever kind of way in our ability to change the world. So, yes.
Yeah, this is exactly what we use restorative circles for in my class. Just last week, we've done restorative circles in all my classes where I asked them to share a moment of weakness. And like, to my surprise, like the first time I did this with my first class was probably like around Labor Day. And we were crying. Like, we were all crying. We were like help supporting each other through everything. And again, it happened last week when I did it with the rest of my classes. And as I was talking about it, we're taught in our society to like not show weakness, especially men. Females, like, yes, you can show weakness, but it kind of depends on how you show it. Like, weakness isn't like, oh, I need help doing something, but when you show weakness is in like vulnerability, like, I need help because I'm struggling with X. It's a lot harder to do that. So just creating a safe space to talk where we're just telling stories. It's not like, and we're all crying. I was like, but we're crying because we never talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first time I said my moment of weakness, I cried, but by the last time I said it, I'd said it so many times, and I'd come to terms with like the fact that I was so low and so weak at that one point, but now I'm better, that I had gotten it out. And I tell my students this is like, it's okay to cry. Like, we all need it sometimes. And now my students, like, they recognize this and they're like, can we do them again? And I was like, no, because I want to say yes, and then we're just not going to do anything. It's like, they know my weaknesses already, as in like, I will rather do a circle with you guys right now. But the stories they share are so beneficial because it allows me to get to know them. They realize things that they have in common with each other, just like you guys have that you guys have both lost a father, you have that in common. It's a very humbling experience to learn the things that we have in common with each other that we don't see on the surface and that we don't always talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree with you, Miss Ross, that we are taught in a society to not show our weakness, especially us males, including me and Darren. So we need to come together to talk about the different kinds of issues that we are facing and to tell our stories as a whole together.
Yeah. It's the other reason why we started this podcast, because, like you said, Miss Roth, because, like you said, because we shared the same experiences, but we also wanted to share our story with other people that are going through the same thing as us. So, yeah, so we wanted to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't relate to all their stories, but some of their stories share similarities that they didn't even know. I can relate to parts of their stories. They can relate to parts of my stories, because we've all experienced parents fighting. We've all experienced feeling like something was our fault when it wasn't our fault. Like, we've all experienced these different things. So we all know those feelings, whether it's the same background or not. We know the feelings that other people have gone through.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I must have watched too many Law and Order SVU, because that show not only talks about
We would like to thank Ms. Roth for joining us on our podcast for this episode.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's been a pleasure to have you as a guest on our podcast. Please come back at any time.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
In next week's episode of Future Educators Talk, we are going to be discussing bullying for the entire episode. Now, this is a very important topic to me, especially, so make sure you tune in on Monday.
Yes, not only is it important to Damien, but it's also important to me as well. So I cannot wait to discuss this in the next week's episode. Yes, not only it is important to Damien, but it also important to me as well. So I cannot wait to discuss this in next week's episode.
In next week's episode of Future Educators Talk, we are going to be discussing bullying for the entire episode. This is a very important topic to me, especially, so please make sure to tune in on Monday for that.
Yes. Not only is important to Damien, but it's also important to me as well. So I cannot wait to discuss this in next week's episode.
Yes, I can't wait either. Also, we will be doing this episode and the remainder of this season without a script. For the past several Mondays, we have been showing y'all some sneak peeks of what's to come for the upcoming episode of Future Educators Talk. Well, no more of that, because we are going free with our thoughts and our minds, and I have to thank a listener for that, so thank you for this.
Yep. Plus, make sure you tomorrow on social media for the announcement of BME's Talk guest moderators. We will let y'all know on what day. When that announcement comes out, we will let y'all know what day we will lead the hashtag BME's Talk Twitter chat.
Yes. So make sure to check our social media platforms for that big announcement.
Mm-hmm. Also, I forgot to mention that it has been a month. Yes, we started this podcast on August 5th, the trailer came out on August 5th, but the debut day was August 6th. So it has been a month since we first started this podcast. We have grown with brand new logos, feedback, topics to discuss, and having guests on our show. We like to thank everyone for taking their time out of their day to join us to talk about the topics that we had to discuss. So we like to thank you for that.
Yes. I cannot believe it. It has been a month since we have started this podcast. Cannot believe it. And we are just getting started with this.
Oh yeah, just wait until next season.
Yes, because next season is going to be bigger and better. Y'all guys just wait and see.
Oh boy, y'all better buckle up because next season
it's going to be a very bumpy ride. So make sure to follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter at Future Ed Talk, or Instagram at Future Educators Talk, Facebook at facebook.com/Future Educators Talk, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Future Educators Talk with Amy and Darren, and make sure to hit that bell and to get notified on all new future episodes and more exciting things that will be happening soon. And also follow me on Twitter at _Damien Anderson and Instagram at Damien Anderson.
I mean, he's the one and only Damien Anderson.
One and only.
He's the only one.
One and only.
The one and only. Yeah, you can follow me as well on Twitter at Darren_Fret. Yes, I worry a lot. And on Instagram, my new Instagram handle at It's Andrew Fret.
Alrighty then. So, are we missing anything?
Yeah. So the season 1 finale.
Oh yes.
You're crying. I'm not crying. A Future Educators Talk will premiere Monday, October 14th.
Yes. Make sure you absolutely tune in on that, because on this day, this is a very important topic, because we will talk about a very important topic that this very important topic definitely needs to be discussed, and we will talk about this on the season 1 finale of Future Educators Talk on Monday, October 14th. And spoilers, we will not be telling y'all what the topic is, so you have to tune in on the season 1 finale.
Yep. Sorry, we wish we can give it to you, but you have to tune in on that day. But don't you worry though, because we're taking a week break because we are getting prepared for next season. We will be back with season 2 on Monday, October 28th, 2019.
Yes.
So make sure you tune in on this season finale.
Yes.
So yeah.
Alrighty. If you want to be a guest or a guest co-host or even both, there are forms that you can fill out. Just go to our social media pages to fill those out. There's a link that you can go to. Guest forms are due on, I'm about to say February. Guest forms are due September the 30th. And guest co-host forms are due October the 1st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time and Central Time. So please spread the word out.
11:59 p.m. Not 12 o'clock, not midnight, not 12:01,
11:59.
not 12:02, 11:59 p.m. on the dot. Eastern Time, 10:59 Central Time. So make sure you fill those out. We already have one already for January of 2020. So I think one of the forms, you will be a guest co-host for the 2nd and the 4th Monday of the month. For the guest form, I do believe it's the 1st and the 3rd Monday of each month. So so make sure, like he said again, make sure you fill those out. Guest forms are due September 30th, and those guest co-host forms are October 1st. We will notify you on Friday, October 4th. We will do the announcement on October 7th, if I do believe my memory is correct. On that day as well, we will have that guest on our broadcast on that day. So make sure you fill those forms out. That is it. Anything else you can think of, Damien?
Nope. Not at the moment.
Okay, without further ado, until next time, I am your co-host, Darren.
And I am the one and only Damian Anderson.
This is Future Educators Talk with Darren and Darren.